So 6 months ago, I was planning an installation, and in March, when California shut down, I realized I wouldn't be able to get the primary material I was using in that installation. And so in April, I completely pivoted, and for the last 6 months, I've been working on the work that's now in the show. So I essentially started over 6 months ago. The title of the show is Relief, and Relief is two separate bodies of work in completely different media that share an interest in line. The first body of work is literal relief, wall relief. When the city of St. Louis shut down in March and we were supposed to stay at home, my family and I found ourselves taking a lot of walks in the evening, and I also like to run around dawn in the morning. And during both those times, the sun is low in the sky and the light breaks across the ground, and I discovered many linear moments, edges, cracks, patches, linear elements and pattern that caught my eye and were really interesting to me. So I went back to those sites later with clay and made a mold, took the mold back to the studio and cast that mold either in clay or stone, and then quieted the surface or sanded the surface to call attention to whatever it is that I most wanted to call attention to about that moment. This body of work is installed almost like a mini installation within the gallery. It's in a long line, and the pieces are very close together, and the viewer is probably going to walk along the line the way I was walking or running when I saw the pieces, and we'll see other pieces in his or her peripheral vision, just the way as I was moving through space, taking in all this visual information. There was a lot of information that I was seeing at the same time that I found this moment. So these are sort of like interludes or moments that the viewer will see walking down the whole line. The second body of work is completely different in medium. These are black and white ink drawings on gray paper, but they share an interest in line because the images are built out of lines, and I spent a lot of time experimenting with different brushes to find which would make the kind of linear mark that I was interested in. This body of work represents relief in a psychological sense. I started at the time 6 months ago when I started over for this show. I had been doing these drawings, but I committed to drawing for at least 2 hours every morning in the very early morning before anyone else got up. And that became a meditative practice every day for days on end. It was very grounding and became a sort of an antidote to some of the stress of the times. And it was so absorbing because ink is not forgiving, you can't erase it. So I found myself paying very close attention to what I was doing, and I think that's what made it grounding. And these pieces are installed in a much more traditional sense. They're framed with quite a bit of space between each piece, so probably a viewer will walk to one, stand in front of it, look at it, and then move to the next one. It's a very different sort of experience for the viewer. The last thing I wanted to say is thank you so much to Paula and Becky for all the great help accommodating this big change of plans, and without your support I couldn't have put this show together. So thank you so much.